Hello, students. Our topic for this week is about exploring Filipino values, the Gawi and Gawa, and also the Pakikipagkapwa, or embracing a shared identity, and also some bits of toxic Filipino culture. So let's first go sa Gawi. Gawi is a term used in Filipino culture to encompass a wide range of customs, traditions, and established practices that have been passed down through generations. It encompasses the various ways in which things are done, reflecting the values and beliefs of Filipino people. These customs are deeply rooted in society and they help people navigate their relationships, make ethical choices, and bring the community together. An example of this is the Bayanihan spirit, which showcases the collective nature of these customs. It involves neighbors joining forces to assist in the relocation of a bahay kubo. Let's go naman sa gawa, which is if the gawi is uh, wide range of customs and tradition, gawa, on the other hand, refers to various actions, behaviors, and deeds that a person engages in. It is the tangible expression of gawi. Filipinos strongly adhere to the belief that it is important for individuals to ensure that their actions are in harmony with their customs and values, and where Filipinos highly appreciate qualities like hospitality and generosity, which they express by warmly welcoming guests and providing them with food and help. So, what is the connection between Gawi and Gawa? The connection between these two plays a vital role in the processes of making, for example, making ethical decisions. Many Filipinos frequently ponder what actions should we take in this particular circumstance in accordance with our customs and traditions or our gawi, and what should we do about it. This connection helps us make decisions based on what is right and wrong and reminds us how important it is to follow customs and beliefs of our culture. Let's go with understanding pakikipagkapwa in Filipino ethics. Pakikipagkapwa is a special concept that originates from the Philippines, and it can be understood as the idea of coming together and sharing a common identity with others. It represents a concept that people are connected and rely on each other, and where this idea highlights the importance of understanding, caring, and helping one another within the Filipino community. Pakikipagkapwa promotes a feeling of belonging and living together as a community. Filipinos have a unique perspective on how they view others, seeing them as an integral part of their own identity. This perspective fosters a deep sense of connection and unity within their communities. This sense of shared identity extends to not only our family and friends, but also to the people we may not have even know, fostering a feeling of obligation and care towards each other. The concept of pakikipagkapwa is considered the foundation of Filipino values. It has an impact on how Filipinos interact with one another, how they make choices, and how they handle social circumstances. Pakikipagkapwa is a practice that emphasizes the importance of caring for others and working towards a society where everyone is connected and supported. It helps create a sense of harmony and unity among Filipinos. How is pakikipagkapwa naman when it comes to making ethical decisions? Filipinos frequently consider the potential consequences of their actions on others when confronted with ethical dilemmas. Pakikipagkapwa helps um, people make choices that benefits everyone and keep society peaceful and to live harmoniously. In the context of business, it is common for Filipinos to place a higher emphasis on building and maintaining relationships rather than solely focusing on maximizing profits. In our everyday lives, we can see this concept being demonstrated through simple acts of kindness and generosity. Filipinos have a natural inclination to lend a helping hand to those who are in need, and this could be seen in their willingness to aid their neighbors during a typhoon or their generosity in providing food to those who are less fortunate. Pakikipagkapwa is a value that encourages people to prioritize the welfare of others. It is a guiding principle that helps Filipinos make ethical decisions by serving as their moral compass. And it motivates individuals to be aware of their actions and to think about how they might impact the larger community. This shared responsibility helps to create a feeling of being answerable, accountable, and also in promoting good moral conduct. As the opposite of pakikipagkapwa, there are some notable toxic Filipino traits. These are utang na loob, crab mentality, the duality in Filipino, more specifically in religious Filipinos. So let's see how these toxic Filipino traits affect the community, affect you as a Filipino, and how can we balance these toxic traits using the application of pakikipagkapwa. First is the utang na loob. So there is a concept of hiya. Hiya is a complex trait rooted in the fear of embarrassment or shame, where it can promote humility and politeness. Excessive hiya naman can hinder open communication, personal growth, and assertiveness. In professional environments, people might feel reluctant to share their thoughts or seek assistance because of fear or anxiety. The fear of coming across as ignorant or incapable can really get in the way of working together and coming up with new ideas. It is crucial to conquer excessive fear or anxiety in order to grow personally and professionally. To achieve a balance in HIA, it is important to establish a secure environment where people feel comfortable engaging in open conversations and freely expressing themselves. To overcome the limitations of this trait, naman individuals can benefit from being encouraged to assert themselves, receive constructive feedback, and view mistakes as opportunities for personal growth. So there is a application of this excessive hiya or the embarrassment or fear of disappointing other people when it is applied in the sense of utang na loob. That's why utang na loob can be a toxic Filipino trait if there is um, excessive context when it comes to the hiya factor. It hinders the professional and personal growth of the person that has an utang na loob for the other person. Next is crab mentality or envy. Crab mentality refers to the negative tendency of some individuals to undermine or sabotage others' success out of envy or insecurity. This mindset can still stifle progress and collaboration. Crab mentality can negatively impact both personal and professional settings also by fostering a hostile and competitive atmosphere that hinders collaboration and shared achievements. Recognizing and addressing this behavior is crucial in order to promote a mindset that is more supportive and cooperative. So, how do we promote a supportive mindset and a cooperative mindset? It means focusing on the accomplishments that we achieve together, taking joy in the successes of others, and creating an environment where we help and we work with each other. We help each other grow. By adopting this approach, Filipinos can effectively address the issue of crab mentality and foster a more supportive and nurturing atmosphere, most especially so in the workplace. Next is duality. So, specifically in a religious setting. So, since Filipinos are predominantly Catholic and their faith plays a significant role in their lives, There can sometimes be a toxic embodiment of this being religious. In the case if it's meron nanggagawa nga duality in a religious person. There can be a duality in how religious values and practices intersect with toxic traits, both reinforcing and challenging them. Religion, yes, it can discourage negative behaviors like envy and grab mentality by promoting virtues such as humility and charity. But some individuals may selectively interpret religious teachings to justify or perpetuate toxic behavior. Sometimes people twist religious teachings to justify their actions, which creates a contradictory situation where faith both supports and questions harmful characteristics or harmful traits. Understanding this concept of duality is crucial for creating a society that is more peaceful and morally upright. So, how can we combat this toxic Filipino traits? In the form still of applying the pakikipagkapwa. Pakikipagkapwa can be applied positively in everyday life while addressing toxic Filipino traits and also the duality of being Christians. So, how? By these suggestive steps or suggestive phases that you can take. First is balancing toxic traits. Pakikipagkapwa promotes empathy and compassion, which can help individuals recognize and mitigate toxic traits like crab mentality, envy. For example, when someone experiences envy, practicing pakikipagkapwa encourages them to celebrate others' successes instead of resentment. Next is enhancing communication. So this is for the case of hiya. Addressing excessive hiya or shame is crucial for healthy communication. Pakikipagkapwa fosters a sense of shared identity, making it easier for individuals to express themselves without fear or of judgment or embarrassment. Thereby, it leads to open communication and it can reduce misunderstandings and conflicts. Next is fostering collaboration in situations where competition and mistrust prevail. Pakikipagkapwa encourages collaboration and support. It can be applied positively by individuals and communities to create a supportive environment that diminishes the impact of toxic behaviors. For example, in the workplace or in the classroom, the crab mentality. Next, it can also be applied in ethical decision making. It serves as a moral compass, guiding individuals to consider the welfare of others in their decisions, and this can discourage unethical behavior driven by personal gain and promote ethical choices that align with Christian values. And also, it can build stronger communities. By practicing pakikipagkapwa, communities can strengthen bonds and address toxic traits collectively. The sense of shared identity or the feeling of belongingness in a Filipino community. It fosters unity and shared responsibility, making it easier to tackle issues such as the toxic Filipino traits that have been mentioned. Awareness of these toxic traits and religious teachings, it can help individuals and communities mitigate their negative impact. So that's why um, as long as we acquire more knowledge, we never stop learning, no? As what our as what our mission vision stated, lifelong learners dapat na SCNs, we are also trying to mitigate negative or adverse effects of toxic Filipino culture. Once we know more, we understand the world better. Okay? So these toxic trait awareness, religious teachings, promoting dialogue, leadership, and role models, they can help mitigate the negative impact of these toxic Filipino traits. So, first, toxic traits awareness. Recognizing toxic traits like hiya, crab mentality, envy is the first step in addressing them. Awareness campaigns, workshops, and discussions within communities can shed light on these issues and help communities identify when they are engaging in such behavior. And of course, if you already know that you are being toxic, you should also address it. Not necessarily that you know that you're toxic and then self-aware ka man nga toxic ka, but you still continue being toxic. So you should address it. You should know how to act differently. How to act in a manner that is good for more people other than just yourself. Next, religious teachings. Understanding and interpreting religious teachings in a balanced way is vital. Communities can engage in theological discussions and educational programs that promote a more nuanced understanding of how faith and values relate to everyday life. This can help prevent the misuse of religious teachings to justify or perpetuate toxic behavior. So, as long as religious teachings or religious ideas are being used for the good, there's no problem about it. But if you use those religious teachings or your religious knowledge to justify your actions, or to still continue to perpetuate to be being toxic with other people, then that's already a counterintuitive or counterproductive way to be a Filipino or to be part of a Filipino community. Next is promoting dialogue, encouraging open dialogue within communities about the challenges posed by toxic traits and the duality of being Christians is essential. Communities can create spaces where individuals feel safe dapat in sharing their experiences and seeking support from one another. So that's why in the classrooms, at home, in the community, dapat you should promote healthy dialogues, open communication. Leadership and role models. Community leaders and influential figures can play a crucial role in raising awareness and modeling positive behaviors. Their actions and words can inspire others to strive for healthier interpersonal relationships and attitudes. That's why look for a good role model. And also choose good leaders because they are essential figures that will also help you see what's right, help you recognize the wrong, and then help you stand up against the wrong. That's it. In order to promote positive behaviors. All right. So, with regards specifically on the duality of religious Filipinos, examination of challenges and strategies would be helpful for promoting healthier interpersonal relationships and attitudes. So, there are challenges and there will be strategies. So, first, the challenges. Challenges are doctrinal differences, misinterpretation of faith, resistance to change. See? Doctrinal differences, misinterpretation of faith, and resistance to change. So for doctrinal differences, theological disagreements within Christian communities, sila-sila naman lang ang Christian, nagailinaway pa sila, can lead to tension. That's why, so you can see there are many denominations of being a Christian. Mayara Roman Catholic Christian, mayara fundamental Christians, mayara born-again Christians, Baptist Christians, all are Christians, but different denominations. And they contradict each other also in terms of how they interpret the Bible. Finding common ground while respecting different beliefs or differing beliefs can be challenging. Most especially so that human beings are unique. We receive information differently. We understand things differently. That's why it is important, most especially so in religions, in organized religions, that they should find a common understanding of how they want to understand the Bible. And up until now, since if we can see, there is no one it may be offensive to say, but there is no one, uh, let's say, true religion, um, since or true Christian. No, since each individuals do understand what they read from the Bible differently. So it also applies there in the leadership and role models. So you should also, as a accountable, responsible Filipino, you should also look for and seek for a good role model when it comes to your spiritual self. Next is misinterpretation of faith. So with varying translation, with varying understanding, there can be misinterpretation of faith. Some individuals may interpret religious teachings in ways that justify negative behaviors. So that's a challenge. This misinterpretation can be a barrier to promoting healthier attitudes. Next, resistance to change. So if we notice our traditional religious elderly, they are very resistant to change. That's why some things that are now accepted by the wider community, they still cannot accept. Breaking free from deeply ingrained toxic traits can be difficult as they often stem from cultural and societal norms. So those are the challenges. So how about the strategies? Strategies include interfaith dialogue, education and awareness, community support, and leadership roles. So for interfaith dialogue, you should encourage dialogue between different Christian denominations to foster understanding and cooperation. Kay isa lang man ang aton gusto nga end goal, right? Sa aton nga core values as Filipino people, dapat makatao, makakalikasan, maka-Diyos, makabansa. So, maka-Diyos. You should foster cooperation and understanding in order for you to achieve your common goal. Common goal lang man naton tanan as Filipino people is to have those core values be maano siya ma-embed gid siya in your Filipino heart. So focus on shared values and common goals. Next, education and awareness. Conduct workshops and educational programs that promote a deeper understanding of religious teachings and their application in daily life. It's not enough that you know, it also requires you to apply the knowledge that you've learned. Next, community support. Establish support networks within communities where individuals can seek guidance and help each other overcome toxic traits. That's why open communication is a must. So since not everyone is a safe person, so you should find a support group or establish a support group. As being you ICCNs, you are student leaders, di ba? Premier students. So we will foster your potentials to be leaders inside or outside the school. Next, leadership role. Encourage community leaders to take a proactive role in addressing challenges and setting positive example. That's why we always emphasize that it's not enough to know that you are seeing a negative situation. You have to act in order to stop a negative situation or to avoid the negative situation. So that is what we mean when we say proactive. Okay? Proactive and reactive. All right. So what is the cultural significance of the said pakikipagkapwa, the good values and the bad values of Filipinos, and how we foster the good attitude of Filipinos? Cultural significance. These elements hold great cultural importance in Filipinos. So Filipino identity, ethics, and social dynamics are influenced by these said factors. To fully comprehend and tackle the various positive and negative aspects of Filipino culture, it is crucial to recognize and appreciate their significance. the values, traits, and religious beliefs that Filipinos hold, it is essential to our identity. They play a significant role in fostering a sense of belonging and unity among Filipinos all over the world. They bring us great joy and contribute to the diversity of our culture. And in order to create a better and more ethical society, of course, it is important to use cultural interventions, education, and religious teaching to accept, to address, to change, to become proactive Filipino members and fix negative behaviors while also prompting positive values such as what we've been talking about earlier, the Pakikipagkapwa. By adopting this comprehensive approach, we can create a society in the Philippines that is more balanced and harmonious. So that is the gist of why we need to learn how to be ethical individuals for us to be ethical citizens of our community, to be ethical Filipinos.